Hi everyone. So today it's Mix It Up Monday, and for this Mix It Up Monday, on Mondays is when I'm going to share my project life. But if I don't have any project life, then I have other stuff that I'm going to be able to share, and I'm going to be doing I guess a small little video just to kind of outline my new schedule on YouTube. So today I am so far behind on project life, and I put up a video a few weeks ago calling it Catching Up on Project Life, and this is sort of like continuing it. So this is week 11. Yikes. But with the how I plan on approaching this, I should be able to catch up in no time at all. I have approximately a few weeks done, and then I have a few weeks put together the way I outline it in the Catching Up on Project Life. So be looking for that on my channel, and I'm going to do up a playlist that's going to be all about Project Life. So you can just click on the playlist of Project Life and all the videos will be in there. So like I said, this is week 11. It's way back in March sometime. Let me see if I can figure it out. And this is how long ago I did this. I opened up my Project Life album thinking, okay, yeah, I put the cards in there and they're not in here. So I don't know what in the world I did. So once I'm done the voiceover, I'm going to be looking for them. I know I put them somewhere safe, but I want them in my Project Life album. So it'll be from March 8th to March 15th, or March 14th. So that's that week there. And it was still burr cold. I mean, here, this was March 8th to March 14th, and now we're October 4th, and that coldness is starting to come back. I mean, it's not as cold as it was back then in March, obviously, but you can feel the coldness in the air, and it's making me very sad because I love summer. Although hockey's starting up again, so yay. So what I do for my project life is I sit down, I decide on a few colors, and then I just pull a whole bunch of embellishments that are in that tone, and then I go with it. So I chose, I guess this is the A style, and I think, that's pretty much what I'm going to kind of stick with for this Project Life is going to be the A, and I can't remember what the other one is, but it's just the reverse. Is it F? I can't remember. But the one where it's 2 verticals and 4 horizontal 3x4. So that's pretty much the style that I'm going to keep with. And another thing that I'm doing is if I have enough pictures to do a double page spread for a whole week, I go with that. If I only have enough pictures to do 1 page spread, I'm going to do that. And then if I don't have enough pictures to do, even a 1 page spread, I'm okay with doing a double page spread for a whole month and leave it at that. So you're going to see I'm going to have that variety of different pictures, I guess, for my project life this year. I mean, here we are October 4th, and I'm still scrapping March. I plan on catching up with my new schedule. If you haven't heard, Mondays is going to be Mix It Up Mondays, and it's going to have project life, maybe some hauls. I'm going to have some hauls, some how-to videos, and so you'll see like a mixed media and a haul, or something else, because a haul doesn't really take a lot of time to do. So on Mondays you might end up with a couple of videos that you're going to see. On Wednesdays it's going to be Watercolor Wednesdays, and on Fridays it's going to be Let's Get Hip Fridays, and Saturdays is going to be Scrap Your Stash. And before, I mainly scrapped with the hip kit, which I ordered every month. I plan on still doing that, but I'm going to kind of tone it down. I'm not going to do 20 layouts using the hip kits anymore per month. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrap more with my stash, because Mondays is going to be using my stash, Wednesdays is going to be using my stash, and Saturdays is going to be using my stash. And on Fridays, I'm going to do hip kits. So I'm going to tone it down with the hip kits. I'm going to do between 4 and 6 layouts a month. So you're going to see what I order from the hip kits is going to be way less because I don't want all that stuff to be left in my stash. And with the Watercolor Wednesdays, I have so many things that are known as watercolor. Um, between the gelatos and regular watercolors, and then I have pens that are considered watercolors, and my Inktense pencils, and what are they called? Anyway, like I said, I'm going to do a video and I'm going to outline everything that I'm going to do in there. But right now we're going to talk about this Project Life spread. So the first card, and I'm going to have to get closer here because, like I said, I can't find it, and I got to find it because it's some cute. It's going to be my title card, and I don't do too much with the title card. I just end up putting a few little embellishments, and then for a week I just put WK and then the numbers, because if I put WEEK, then I would be using my E's in my thickers, and I love to use those for titles, right? But the W's, you almost never use those, and the K's, same thing. So if anything, it's getting me to use those 2 letters that are kind of pesky letters that you don't use quite enough, and you can use them on here. Because Q's, even though you don't use Q's a lot, cut the tail off and voila, you get an O. So you can use your Q's. But the W also, you can flip them over and make an M, but it's nice to be able to use them in my project life. And the next card is of Mason. This was the first time that he went skating. He had been putting skates on since probably, we bought the skates for his birthday. So every single day almost he was putting the skates on and running around the house, but he had never been on ice. So we took him and he thought he was a little different, loved it, but he really thought he was different because, of course, he's slipping and sliding, but he absolutely loved it. And there was 2 little girls there, and they were so cute. We didn't know them, but they thought he was cute, and they wanted to help him. And then their mom came over and said to Josh, "Come on, skate to me." And even though he didn't know her, he was skating to her and, going, and she would hug him, and then she'd turn him around, and then he'd skate to his Pappy, and I was taking pictures, of course. So, but he was so cute because at that age, right, they have no, fear of strangers, and to him, she became his friend really quickly. And then afterwards, we went to Sobeys to get some groceries. And when we got to the truck, he didn't want to take his helmet off. He wanted to leave it on. So we put him in his car seat with his helmet. And then we had to get a little bit of groceries. So we went to get groceries, and he still didn't want to take it off. So everybody in the grocery store thought it was hilarious. And they kept saying that he was the next Sidney Crosby, because he didn't want to, obviously he loves hockey, and he won't, he's going to be practicing hard. And hey, we're crossing our fingers, obviously. And talking about Sidney Crosby just popped into my head. If you haven't seen the new commercials for Sidney Crosby and Nathan McKinnon, he's another Canadian hockey player that made it big. It's hilarious. Go on YouTube and just Google Sidney and Nate, and oh my goodness, watch the one that's 4 minutes plus, because they put all the different commercials they're going to make in one. It's hilarious. It's so funny. But anyway, I just thought I'd put that in there. It is funny. I loved it. And so I used one of them. It was from October Afternoon. It was a strip, and it was sort of mountains and peaks and valleys. It looks like little mountains, and I put them in 3 different spots on the 3 different cards. And basically that's what I do. I just put out the pictures and see, what I have for that week, and then I just start dividing the embellishments, and I try to vary the sizes. So if I use a rectangle for one piece, then I try to use a circle or a hexagon or a star or a heart, and I just go from card to card and divide the embellishments until they're pretty much used up. And you know, how do I decide that I have enough when I put it all together? I just look, and if I have between 15 and 20 different um, labels and stickers, I call it good. Probably closer to the 20. And then once I start scrapping, then I go and pull things in like embellishments, like enamel dots and that kind of stuff. And now I'm going to stamp the date, which is March 8th to March 14th, 2015. And this one took me about 55 minutes, and I'm going to call it good. And this week, I believe I'm just going to do 1 week, for Mix It Up Monday. But some weeks you're going to see that I'm going to put 2 weeks together. I don't do them together, but I'm going to end up putting them together because I'm so far behind, and I want to finish the 2015 in 2015. So, I'm going to be doubling up on some weeks so that I can get them done before the end of the year. And there's not that many weeks left, so maybe some weeks there's going to be 3 weeks in one too. So let's see how fast I can get this done. So I didn't have any ones left, so I'm just MacGyvering some. I'm cutting apart some letters. I think I used an X and I cut apart the rest, and then they're probably a little thinner than what the rest of the ones are, but it doesn't matter. So here's a close-up of all the little cards that I got done, and that's going to wrap it up for week 11. So be watching next week. I'm going to be uploading now at least one project life a week. And I can't remember what I'm putting there. I'm using some Teresa Collins little stickers, and I'm just adding some little subtitles, I guess, to some of the cards. Probably things like first skate or first time on the ice. And then obviously I'm going to add some journaling, and that's when I got my Raskog, was that week. I ordered it from IKEA here in Canada, and then Simon Says Stamp also had a sale that month on Copics, and I ordered a bunch of Copics. So I'm just kind of documenting those little fun facts that, later on it'll be nice to know that that's when I got my favorite container thing, I guess, Raskog, and then when I got some more Copic markers. And that's it, guys. That's going to wrap it up, and stay tuned for Wednesday because it's going to be Watercolor Wednesday. So thanks for watching. Bye.